Hello, this is Cedric Aquino and this is my building a bread experiment. I'm on first period A day. Okay, so what will make my bread better? I will make my bread sourer and it will give a more sour taste and make it better. My hypothesis is that in order to make my bread sourer, I will add a lesser amount of sour dough starter. Here you will see my sources. One of my sources is truesourdough.com. The smaller the amount of sour in the starter in the recipe, the more sour the flavor will be. This is because the starter will go through its food source at a slower rate and produce more acetic acid along the way. The other source is thebreadguide.com. By adding more starter, you are actually increasing the amount of yeast you are putting into the bread. This extra yeast will make your bread rise faster and will shorten the amount of time your bread needs to ferment and proof, resulting in a less sour tasting bread. So, variables. In the dependent variable, the bread will become more sour by adjusting the amount of sourdough starter. The independent variable is less sourdough starter for sourer flavor. For controlled variable, everything in the step-by-step design will be the same, including the baking time, temperature, waiting time, flour, and others. The same is with the recipes, except for the amount of sourdough starter. Okay, so the summary is I will make two doughs that are exactly the same in terms of step-by-step design. In the recipe, however, the amount of sourdough starter will change with one of the dough having less than the other. I will measure which one is sourer by taste test. I will have a few family members taste both the bread that I made and help me judge which one is sourer. For the supplies, it's just the same with the last time. It's just the same as last time for the bread, but but it's 1/6 cups of starter, not 1/3. Okay, so for the step-by-step design, every step from last time was the same because the independent variable is to change the recipe, which is the amount of sourdough. Okay, so here you will see the comparison of the amount of sourdough starter. Here you will see the end result of the bread, which you will notice that the other bread is larger in width than the and one is larger in height. Okay, so the results is that one of my family members said that the experimented bread is sourer than the one that I did not change. The second one changed said that the experimented bread is less sour than the one I did not change. And the family member 3 said that the experimented bread is sourer than the normal bread, which can prove my results that okay, so the experiment was not due to chance because the change to bread has more acetic acid than the other due to lack of sourdough starter. The lack of sourdough starter will force the remaining starter to eat up the bread slower while producing more acetic acid and sour flavor. So in conclusion, based on my results, my hypothesis was proved to be true. The bread with less sourdough starter managed to produce more acidic flavor which produced the sour flavor. The amount of sourdough starter can determine the sourness of the bread. So one of my interesting findings is that the bread with less sourdough is smaller than the bread with more sourdough. Okay, so that's the end of my slideshow. Thank you for watching.